The opinions expressed on the radio program by the hosts, co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Genesis Radio, www.genesisradio.com, Genesis Radio's owners, management, or affiliates.
She gon' make it twist and turn, twist and turn. Yeah. She gon' make it twist and turn, twist and turn. Yeah. She gon' make it twist and, twist and. She gon' make it twist and turn. She gon' make it twist and, twist and. She gon' make it twist and turn. Kiss me like you wanted a mistletoe. My pants poking like a mistletoe. When I'm smoking out, my eyes will low. It's my time, so I gotta keep going. You wanna stop me, but you can't, oh no. They say I could get got like Game of Thrones. Even though that's true, I still stand alone. You can't copy this greatness, I can't be cloned. Now you got that problem that can't be solved. And if you got that problem, then that be done. If I'm froggy, then I'm leaking, cause I need the law. I know my whole be reaching, they can do no wrong. If you want me and you need me, you gotta be my love. Keep me in your heart, keep me up in your thoughts. Do I want you, of course. She gon' make it twist and turn, twist and turn. Yeah. She gon' make it twist and turn, twist and turn. Yeah. She gon' make it twist and, twist and. She gon' make it twist and turn. She gon' make it twist and, twist and. She gon' make it twist and turn. My shorty bad and she comfortable. These niggas soft, it's uncomfortable. Fuck around like, cause I'm always on go. A different headlights, how they gon' fall. She said you gon' be platinum, maybe silver or gold. And she gon' stay on my side till we get old. She said I'll play for your heart. It's okay, baby, just don't leave me out in the dark. If you do, I fall back like I'm taking the charge. I wanna bust it, that's a petrol car. She said she's strong, hit her with like she playing guitar. And she'll be movie like she smokes cigar. Let's make a movie, I promise I'ma play my part. And I'm cocky cause it was always me from the start. They try to call me, but they can never stop me, oh no. I'm the man that's gonna be here whenever you fall. She gon' make it twist and turn, yeah. She gon' make it twist and turn, yeah. She gon' make it twist and, she gon' make it twist and turn. She gon' make it twist and, she gon' make it twist and turn. She gon' make it twist and turn, yeah. She gon' make it twist and turn, yeah. She gon' make it twist and, she gon' make it twist and turn. She gon' make it twist and, she gon' make it twist and turn.
Welcome back to Genesis Radio, everyone. I am your host, Amazing Amy, and this is In My Opinion with myself. And today I have not only my super duper cool co-host, but one of my best friends, Victoria Paris.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
This show, like this little collab is a long time coming because like not only have we been friends for so long, but we've been like talking about doing something like this for a while.
Forever. Literally forever. Like high school.
Yeah, for a really long time.
College.
But definitely it's come up recently for us, and we kind of just feel like we both have good things to say. Like even in our regular everyday conversation, like it's insightful conversation. Like we bounce opinions off each other. We have differing opinions on things, but we both see like each other's perspective. So I feel like sharing that with other people is like cool.
Yeah, we be chatting.
We do.
We gotta We have a lot of good convo.
We do.
Sometimes
It's
we get a
fun.
little-
It's funny. It get a little,
You know
it's
how
like
friends
sisters.
get.
Like, yeah.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
we were
they
friends for
do.
long enough that sometimes it's like, okay, enough. Like, we've had a little
Is
too much
it-
of
is
each
it
other.
10? Is it 10 years?
I think it's been more than 10 years we've been friends, y'all. If I moved here, I don't even want to say the time frame. It's been over 10 years. It's been a minute. But yeah, we locked in, and I feel like we're on similar pages in life.
Yeah.
And this is also just one of those things that we can share together. So I'm excited to have you, friend.
I'm
Thank you for
excited to
joining
be here.
me on my new show, which is
It's
In My
amazing.
Opinion. And we're going to talk about some cool stuff. So
Yes. We can get into it.
yeah.
It's gonna be a new chapter. A
Yeah.
new chapter. I'm loving it.
And I feel like as much as I love my Genesis Radio fam, y'all need some millennial vibes in here, okay? We need to shake up the combo a little bit.
We gonna
need
bring the
to-
vibes.
Yeah, bring the
Definitely.
vibes, which is what we're here to do.
Definitely.
Good conversation vibes. We're gonna talk about, you wanna like touch on our segments, like what they can expect from us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this is your first time tuning in, which it might be because this is a new thing for both of us. You might have seen me here before, but this is your first time seeing us together. So what you can expect from our show, in my opinion, is I just feel like I described it as Black girl millennial realness.
Tens.
Yeah, like
Tens. I love
it
it.
just covers
I love
exactly
it.
who we are and like why we might think the way we think based on our age group and like the things we go through differently than other groups and stuff like that. And being transplants, being from New York, that's something we have in
Right.
common,
Right.
which we share with a lot of people that live in this area. So
Yeah.
that's something that we can all kind of relate to. And yeah, so we're going to talk about music, what's going on in our neighborhood,
A little bit outside the neighborhood, but
Yes.
it's mostly in the neighborhood.
a little this, a little that. But
Uh-huh.
we're going to do Pocono news, neighborhood news, we're calling it. And then we're going to get into our pop culture segment, which we're probably going to call celebrity, but you'll know. We're going to be talking about some stuff.
We gonna mix it up. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And
Mental health. We're gonna get into
Definitely.
that. Make sure we checking in on each other because that's important. Always checking on your friends.
And over time, in a couple shows, we'll be able to have you guys call in and check in with us live. So that'll be really cool.
Mhm.
Also, make sure you stream. We're streaming on Facebook. You can check it out my Facebook page, genesisradio.com.
My Facebook page. Victoria
Yes.
Paris.
So there's multiple places for you to see us. We'll also be on YouTube after this. So check in when you can. But again, thank you for joining us. And today, what are we? Almost at the end of the first month of the year, which is like, where has the time gone, right? And it's like-
oh my gosh, 28.
All 2024, we were like, oh my God, it's already the end of this, it's already the end of that. But
It's like 2025 was faster than 2024.
We're
was.
already
Like,
there.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
and like so much has already happened just in the world, but we don't want to focus so much on the negative of
Or the seriousness. We trying to keep
Yeah.
it light, fun, like entertaining. We not
somewhere
trying
to like get away from the reality of like, you know, what's going on.
because
out
you get a
there.
lot of that everywhere. Like you can't tune into anything without getting
really
some
bad news.
negative or something. Yeah, something
Right.
that's just like, all right. So we're not trying to bring that. We're trying to just touch on the lighthearted fun stuff. If we could get a little.
Yeah,
might
we're
get
gonna
a
keep
little
like we're not gonna be like dense. We're gonna know what's going on in the world,
Of
but
course,
we're not
right.
gonna get too much into the nitty and gritty. We want to keep it like lighthearted.
That
and
gets a
fun.
little too hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our first segment, let's get into music, which is something we both enjoy.
Everyone enjoys.
Everyone enjoys music.
If
Whatever
you don't
kind of
listen
music
to
you
music, I
like.
kind of don't trust you.
Yeah, that's a red flag. We listen to nothing. What do you mean? But like not even frequencies or something.
Something,
1080
right?
hertz or
I
something.
do that sometimes when I meditate.
That's actually really good for your brain. Like,
Yeah. I can't think of the hertz off the top, but
do your research if you're into like
Yeah.
frequency music, but it does something different for you than like music
it's
with
good
words
for
or
you.
whatever.
Yeah.
But in this week's music with words, and there were a lot of words in this song, we're gonna be talking about Bruno Mars and Sexy Red's new song. It is called Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
That juicy and wet.
Now, just off the title, I feel like the people could maybe know what to expect, but
Yeah.
if you haven't heard it, it is a song that Bruno Mars and Sexy Red just came out with, I believe, last Friday, because I've seen it on my Spotify New Music Fridays, and I was like, we have to talk about this.
Yes. Yes. Because I didn't even know they dropped it. She told me, and I was like, oh. I'm like, what? I'm like, I got to listen to this ASAP.
because it was just so interesting. It was the first song on my Spotify, and I'm like, okay. Now we haven't heard much about Sexy Red. I feel like in a couple months, maybe. Has she done a song recently with anybody? I feel like she
don't
might have
worry,
been laying low.
I'm
Her
trying-
last thing
I
I remember
don't
is like her
know.
collab with Drake, and that was summer.
She did the song when he jumped on BBL Drizzy at the end. The song
But that was a couple months back though.
Right,
That wasn't
right,
any-
right, right.
So I'm like,
Probably
all right,
end of the
Sexy
year
been kind of
fall.
on her. I'm not gonna say she
Raising her
fell off,
kids.
but you know she's doing other stuff. Real life is happening. But let's talk about it though. People like Sexy Red, they come out hot, and that heat died down kind of quick.
I don't think her heat is dying down at all.
I don't think so either because she just dropped the song last night. So let's talk about the damn song because song is something to talk about.
How do you feel? Okay, so how do you feel about the collab first? First, how do you feel about just Bruno Mars and Sexy Red? What's your thoughts on that?
Hated
And-
it.
Like when you heard it.
Interesting, doesn't really make a lot of sense, but Bruno Mars has a history of doing collabs with the rap girlies. He's done a couple songs with Cardi B,
I was gonna say that.
and he's done other songs with other rappers, male and female. So
Yes.
him stepping into this lane, not weird. Him and Sexy Red
But and
might
also
be weird, but he also worked
Bruno
with Cardi.
Mars do
So
get a little raunchy on his songs. He just do it in a sing-songy way, so you kind of don't. But he get a little raunchy on his songs.
on
like,
his own songs, like the stuff he does with Anderson .Paak and their whole Silk Sonic thing, like Versace on the floor was mad sexy.
Facts. Even with the Cardi B, please me.
But that was more fun and upbeat.
I feel like this song is fun and upbeat.
Let's
no?
talk about the song.
I feel like it is.
So, do you want to go first or should I go first?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So we talked about like how do I feel about the collab. So my first thing was whose idea was this? Like, who thought to put these two together? Because it's not the first thing on my roster. And I guess with the way music is these days, you kind of got a little, like, I guess the A&Rs in the background, people have to get a little creative with what's going to
Yeah.
keep my artist relevant, what's going to keep them on the charts or whatever.
True.
I don't think it's going to be on the charts for too long.
But also, when you say about that, remember the rap with the R&B, that used to be the staple of music. Like, think about Ja Rule and
Mhm.
Ashanti. Like, you had to have an R&B artist and then a rap verse.
It's just the roles are kind of reversed here. Bruno's
Now,
doing like
yeah, you get what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it. Okay, keep on.
Okay, no, that's fair. I can see how it would have came to be, but it
It
just
works.
isn't my first thought.
Them two specifically, no.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't my first.
And especially again the role reversal of a female rapper and a male R&B singer.
It is
like
different.
okay.
It's different.
Now the song itself,
How do you
it's
feel
not
about
my
the
cup of tea. What I will say, it has decent production, so it has a good beat. That's what I wrote down in my notes. It said good beat, terrible lyrics.
song? Terrible.
I was
lyrics.
listening to this. The first time I listened to it on Spotify when I see it in my playlist, I got through 30 seconds. I think she said, I think right when she started rapping, I was like, yeah, I think I've heard enough. It wasn't long.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe you felt like that because it was just Sexy Red came on the song? You was like,
No, because I like Sexy Red's other songs.
okay.
I like Sexy Red's brand. Like I like Sexy
Okay.
Red for what she is.
Period.
So I don't have a problem with her. TP said, excuse me. We know
I
how
love you
TP
for
feels about the
Sexy
new
Red.
rap girlies, but she steps into her brand. She's owning who she is, and I think it works for her, and that's okay.
And
But
there
this
is a brand
song,
of people just like her in the world.
this song not great, not my fave, but I see it charting for a bit. One because Sexy Red, Bruno Mars, you know, he's also a star. He's a big star, so I feel like this was a move for Sexy Red's team to keep her. To keep her, you know what I'm saying, up to par
Up in Adam.
in the news.
Yeah. And I also feel like, well, my thoughts, I mean, same kind of with you, like who put this together? I would really,
Mhm.
I'm going to look out for that interview because there's so one of them is going to go on an interview and they're going to ask them whose idea was it? Probably, but I'm going to look out for that. So just to get whose idea that was. But also, I was thinking about the song, right? When I listen to it, I think of it as like, it's so fun. I think it's so fun. I think it's like super, like
you know, maybe it's bad
upbeat.
timing. Maybe this is not a winter song. This should have been like a Let's Shot a
But
Pop.
we're going
This should have
into
been a
the
Memorial
spring.
Day drop. But
I
maybe-
think it's a good spring drop.
it's January 28th. We're not going into spring. This song is going to be irrelevant in 30 days. It's going to be February 28th.
But you think that
about
what
it.
if it hits the charts and what if it's going crazy for the next 90 days?
Yeah,
Then we
music
got
is
February, March,
unpredictable.
and April. I think that's a good run.
It might not hit now, and it might be the song of summer.
It might.
We've seen that happen.
We have seen that, and I think the song's been fun. But based on what you said about the lyrics, I like the lyrics, but I do, because I think the song is so fun. I hope there's a radio version, because a clean version of that song would be very fun.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it would be very fun, because I don't think it's the lyrics
Like,
so
yeah,
much
maybe
as
you
the
can't really
vulgarness of it.
Say fat, juicy, and wet under FCC regulation.
No, not that juicy, but I
Oh.
mean like the
The cussing
actual
parts.
yeah.
But I feel like
Because-
they've made cleaner versions of worse songs. We had a radio version of WAP, and WAP
That's what I'm
is.
saying.
I think WAP is a better song than that,
But
for
I
different
don't-
reasons.
Well, I feel like this is a more fun song than WAP.
Okay,
I hate to say this. I think the kids would like it because of the beat and the tempo and the repetitive of the chorus.
I can see
Fat,
kids about
juicy,
picking
and
this
wet.
up.
Yes,
If it
you know
wasn't
what I'm
so,
saying.
if the lyrics weren't so bad,
So
because that's
I'm
my only
because
thing.
when
is,
I
like,
turn it on the car, it makes me do this immediately. So I don't know.
good music is one thing, good lyrics is another thing. But for a good song, you need both, and I feel like it kind of lacks in that one department. So
I mean,
Otherwise-
it's 2025. How many songs can you name on 10 hands that came out in the last 12 years? Well, 12 months that have great lyrics.
no, none of them.
Exactly.
Majority, no. The ones that have
That's
great
what I'm
lyrics are
saying.
not charting. But
I mean,
again,
yeah,
this was clear.
sadly.
This seems like a move for Sexy Red's team to keep her up to date. And hey, it might work. We'll see. It's
I
out
love
there
it.
now. So
I love it. They're going to get
It's
some
for
streams out of
somebody.
me, definitely.
And then another interesting music move. I found this topic just scrolling on Twitter, and I was like, So Northwest, Northy, my girl, which we're gonna talk about that too, because I love Northwest. Northwest, daughter to Kanye West, is featured on a song with FKA Twigs. So FKA Twigs is a British singer, songwriter, rapper, artist. That's
Mhm.
something I could call her. I don't even know what genre she does, but she has a
Yeah.
fan base. So FKA Twigs and Northwest have this song. It is called Childlike Things. Now we played the song earlier, and it was
Yeah.
another like cute, fun. But the controversy with the song is the album title.
The album title or the song title?
No, the song title is called Childlike Things, which adds more controversy to the album title if you think about that.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
that's why I was.
So FKA Twigs she dropped the album and it's called we can't figure out what it's called. For precursor, this is a word that she made up, but it is spelled EUSEXUA. I feel like you can't really pronounce over that SEX. Eusexua.
Eususia. If you're trying to make the X silent, Eususia.
Eususua.
Eusexia.
That's not how letters work.
Also, the song sounds very Asian, Japanese type. No, not Asian.
They speak Japanese in there.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't want to miss.
No, yeah. Actually, I'm not 100%. It might be
Yeah,
Korean.
you know what I'm saying?
It
I
might be
don't know what
Korean.
it is.
No offense to the community. But
Right.
there is another language on here that's an Asian language, and it sounds very K-pop, I would say.
Yes. Okay, that's what.
Or like something you would hear in Squid Games.
Look at the camera.
Oh.
I was thinking. I was thinking it sounds like something you would hear in the back of a video game, like background video game, like a driving game. Or something.
Yeah, like it's if you were to describe it, it's techno, it's EDM, it's fun. It sounds like something an 11-year-old would make. Like it sounds like a song an 11-year-old would make, which is how Old Northwest is. But the album title just don't make sense.
Yeah.
But again, it can't make sense. It is creative expression. FKA Twigs basically said
I would
she
just
made
like to
that
hear
word
her
up.
pronounce it, and she's also British, so I'm saying if she's saying it in her accent too, like we don't have a British accent, so it's like.
We were saying that also you would have to say it in a distorted way for it to sound better than what it is. Also, the American accent kind of butchers everything. So maybe if she
Because we
said
have
it,
too many pronunciations of too many letters.
yeah, maybe if we heard it on an interview, we would understand it better, or it wouldn't sound as bad, is what I would say. But
Also, I don't know if you found it, but we couldn't really differentiate where Northwest came in.
true. So that's interesting because it's like there is another language being spoken on the song. Is that Northwest part?
I don't know. Could be.
Because you know what else I thought when I heard this? I said, this is rich people-ish right here. This is rich people stuff.
Just we're in the studio doing anything.
She said, Daddy, I want to make a song. And he said, I'll make a call. And she got on this
I mean,
song, and it's cute.
That's a North. I mean, so FKA Twigs is Northwest is speaking the other language.
Aha, as I thought, because that
Okay,
seems
that
like some
makes
rich
sense.
people stuff.
Yeah.
She's bilingual. And then I want to segue into our convo about Northy. So aside from the fact that this album title is interesting, we could chalk it up to creative expression. That's what the artist want to name the album. Cool.
Yeah, she did say she made the word up.
Yeah.
How
so
old is
I'm not sure. She's a grown woman. She got
she? Oh, I
in
didn't
her
know
30s.
she was also. A
Yeah,
child
no,
like
she's
that.
not a kid at all. Northwest is a preteen.
Okay.
And when I mentioned this to you, I was like, I feel like it's so cool. Northwest is the leader of her generation. And that's actually how I feel. I think Northy
Whoa,
is,
really?
yeah, I think she is the leader of Gen Alpha. So Gen Alpha is who comes after Gen Z, the generation that comes after us, the ones who's just now coming into adulthood, who the boomers think they're having a hard time with. Like they thought we were giving them a hard time, and Gen Z is
Lord
giving them a run
Jesus.
for their money.
They is tearing the place down.
I think Gen Alpha is
I love them.
100 times worse. And I think Northwest is like the leader of Gen Alpha. She was like one of the first celebrity kids, I feel like.
I mean, I
that
wouldn't deny that she's probably the leader of Gen Alpha just based off her status, right? Not based off of anything that she's done as of yet.
And that's
I'm
just
not
the title
saying
I
she
gave
can't
her.
do anything.
And that's just my title for her. It's not
I
like
mean,
she's
but
done
also
anything
like
for
she's
it.
Northwest, so I'm not denying who she is. She's Kanye just got his billionaire status back. She's Kanye's child
Mhm.
and Kim's child, and she's Northwest, right?
Yeah.
But also like, of course, because she has all the resources to be the leader of Gen Alpha. So like,
It's nepotism. She's a nepo.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like,
Well,
respectfully, it's just I don't know.
she is a nepo baby, but
Love the kids. P love the
yes.
kids. P
Nothing but
the
love for
kids.
Northy over here.
But
But hey, nepo
of
baby.
course, is all I'm saying. Of course.
Yeah, like why would she not be? But then again,
Who else
some
is-
celebrity
who else
kids
other
choose
kid?
to not be in the limelight. Some celebrity kids choose to
That's what
want
she
to be
knows.
less exposed. But her mom's Kim Kardashian. I mean,
Yeah.
All right. So let's
We'll
check
leave Northy
in. We've chopped it up about other people's
Stuff.
stuff.
I mean, not really. Just musically. We ain't in
Yeah.
their business. We ain't in their business.
A little bit. I think, yeah, a little bit. But I feel like every time we talk about something, we in people's business. Because we want to know why she named the album that. We in her business.
No, that's art. That's like asking an artist why he named his piece that. I don't think that's in his business.
Potato, potato.
You know, I think that's a little on the outskirts.
It's okay to inquire sometimes.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we is in her business. I don't know.
Well, we got something to say.
At least
so
it's
we gonna say
interesting.
it.
You would want
It
people
is.
to inquire about your art, right? That means you're doing something right. Because if ain't nobody asking no questions, it's not interesting. Okay, mess up.
Yes. So let's tap into our mental health check. And so for this segment, we just want to check in with each other and also with our audience. And
Yeah.
also, this is a good time for you guys to check in with yourselves. Like, it's only Tuesday, which is good, but I feel like now's the time to revisit whatever goals you might have set for yourself over the weekend.
Yes.
See how you're going to follow through with those on hump day tomorrow. Like, let's not get down. You know, we got to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Friday when we got planned for next weekend. So for my mental health check, I'm feeling good. Today's been a good day. I'm excited that we're on our show, like that we've launched it officially and we're doing it. So like it's like manifestation because we thought about this, we talked about it, and then
We
boom.
did it.
So I think that's really cool. So that's good. It's the end of January, which I've been recapping my New Year's goals, and I'm like on track.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Yeah. Like
Good.
I'm not gonna say everything's perfect, but I'm not falling off too much. You know what I'm saying? So we're
That's
giving ourselves grace over time, and now next month we'll just tighten up. We'll, not working.
Yeah.
You know my favorite term, hunker down.
Hunker down. Oh my God.
Every time
That's
I need to
hilarious.
focus, I'm like, girl, I need to go hunker down, and that means you're not gonna see me, you're not gonna hear from me. I'm gonna be taking care of business for a little bit, but
Hunker down.
I feel like now's a good time to do that while it's still cold-ish. It will be winter for 2 more months, guys. Like, calm down.
Okay.
Calm
Maybe
down.
a month and some change.
We live in the
Jesus
Pocono
Christ.
what? Mountains.
Okay.
I
I'm
be
just
trying to
saying,
remind
it was like
everyone.
50 degrees right before Christmas, so anything's possible.
I just
I'm
remind you,
counting
it's
on global
unpredictable. That's the
warming.
point. Like it's unpredictable. We never know what we're gonna get, but I feel like it's gonna be cold for a little bit longer. So, but yeah, I'm feeling mentally well. Some things I'm doing to keep on top of that: journaling. Like that's a
Great.
really simple but really good mental health hack.
Yes.
Like dump it on paper, take some time.
Journaling is really, really important.
Yeah.
Really important. Because sometimes, yeah, you gotta get whatever's going on in your brain down.
Out in a healthy way. That's not necessarily like, to ears or
or
to
even just talking.
a screen or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes a difference.
Even if you just, yeah.
What's your mental health check of the week?
So when I think of the week, since this is the new week, I'm thinking of last week to now.
Right.
I was a little anxious last week. I was very, very anxious, but I had a lot of stuff going on, like work. So that's why I was
That after the
anxious.
holidays, when you jump back in to be.
Yeah, and I had all type of like officialness stuff going on, and like I had to stay late a bunch of days, so it was all of that nonsense. So that was that, and then staying late at work,
Mm-hmm.
and then coming home trying to do stuff, annoying. It's annoying. Like
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's like the 9 to 5ers say. You're never working 9 to 5. You're working 7 to 7.
From the time you wake up
6
to the time you rub your feet together under the covers, that's the last minute you can say you was working.
Right.
And then I was like doing meal prep, trying to,
Yeah.
set myself
balance
up
it
for the
out, Be a
week.
good adult. Like people act like, or the people who got it all together act like that's easy. Like no, I respect it, but
It's
it's
a lot.
work.
Yes. I'm like,
life is work. If you're
First
not
of
working
all-
on your life, then you just going by the wayside. It's just like you do whatever.
as an adult, food shopping is terrible in itself. So food shopping and trying to meal prep in like 24 hours, Jesus. So, but Monday I woke up well rested, and this week has been flowing smoothly. So I'm on a high. Obviously, very happy about today. So today was like a really good day.
Good.
Super easy. So I'm feeling good about that. What I've been doing to keep on top of it?
Yeah.
I sleep. No, I like not. I've been trying to get to sleep
That's a
early.
necessity.
Not yes, trying to get to sleep by a good time because that is if you can, if I can, but and
Somebody
yes.
asked me today, well, what's how you been doing with that? Because I tried to call you and I'm out by
I'm out.
10:30.
I'm
I need to
sleep.
keep a schedule.
What am I about doing anyway?
The bears are hibernating right now. They're sleeping for months.
Hello.
I know they're coming out shiny and beautiful.
Okay.
And, okay.
Okay.
That's what we need to be doing.
Shoot.
I wish we had
Cool.
those luxuries, but
We can't.
one day.
Yeah, and taking my vitamins. I've been
Yes.
taking my vitamins, staying on top of my vitamin D because you get less vitamin D in the winter, especially
Black
in the
people.
Pocono Mountains.
That's a really essential vitamin for us. It aids in our melanin, it aids with our calcium too, like our bones. And also, if you pair that with magnesium, you're not gonna be sad.
I've
You're gonna
been
be good.
taking
Your spirits are
magnesium
gonna be up.
glycinate.
Yeah.
That's
Any
how I'm
type of,
calling
I don't
it.
know the official name, but I don't know her government name, but
Well, because
magnesium.
no, there's a magnesium succinate. That's a different.
Do your
one.
research, but
Yeah,
vitamin
But
D is essential
magnesium
for us.
glycinate, and so the magnesium helps to absorb your vitamin D, which is, super essential for basically everything.
Mhm.
Your mental health. Vitamin D helps with your mental health. It can help with all types of things, depression, anxiety.
Yeah, like it's funny as you start getting older, you don't realize like why you feel sad during winter. It's not just because it's getting dark at 4:30, but it's literally because it's getting dark at 4:30.
4:30,
You
literally.
need to have more sun.
You're lacking vitamins. Yeah, you're not getting your natural vitamins that you're getting. You're not. Just the day feels short. You don't feel.
Yeah, your diet's different.
Mhm.
You're working longer hours. Like,
Yeah.
Americans are spread thin in general, so
Yeah.
it's important that we stay on top
I don't
of
know
that.
who
So
started this work week 5 and 2,
we
but
gotta go back to one of the Roosevelts or somebody back there, but we
don't
can't make
know.
up for lost time. I think it was one of them.
they made it.
Made the 40-hour work week. Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't learned this in 5th grade, I think, but
Oh my
we learned about when they
gosh.
made the 40-hour work week.
I don't like
Mhm.
that.
We never went back.
This is crazy.
So yeah, week off to a good start. It's only Tuesday, which means we still have a lot of week left to go, but also less time to catch up on stuff or set new goals and
Yeah.
whatever you got going on. So happy Tuesday once again. This is In My Opinion with me, Amazing Amy, and my BFF slash co-host, Victoria Paris. And yeah, this is our show. Thank you for tuning in. And
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you back here. 6
no, we're
p.m.
not done, child. Just reminding them what we're doing and
Well,
where
I'm
we at.
saying 6 p.m.
Oh.
next week, every Tuesday, we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Doing our thing, getting into how we're getting into
Whatever,
it now.
whatever's going
But
on.
every Tuesday. Every
Mm.
Tuesday.
So we are up here in the Pocono Mountains, which we just talked about, which is why y'all need to stay on top of your vitamin D and your vitamins and your minerals.
Yes.
So
Your
let's talk about-
vitamins, ginger shots, I swear by them. That's my go-to for everything. Ginger shots.
Oh, boom. So in today's neighborhood news, the Poconos is interesting because it's like there's not always big things happening, but the little stuff that goes on is really important. We live in a small town.
Yeah.
The little things that happen are really essential to like the flow of the day and just like the structure of the neighborhood, the community.
Yeah.
So something interesting that happened that I don't know, like it's kind of random, but also just very Poconos is the Dunkin' Donuts on Main Street.
The Dunkin' on Main. Oh my
Now,
goodness.
my Facebook groups have had a lot to say about this Dunkin' on Main Street. If you're a local, you should know what we're talking about. It's at the bottom of Main Street. It used to be there. There was already a Dunkin' there. They tore it down and put up a different Dunkin'.
It's not even torn down yet, honestly.
It's
still,
not.
No, it's still standing.
I didn't even
It's
know
still
that.
standing.
I haven't drove by there in a little bit.
Ridiculous.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
So they haven't torn down the old Dunkin', but they built a new Dunkin' next door. It's literally like less than a parking lot, and then it's next door. Is that what it is? Like, is it on the next block?
It is next to the YMCA or something.
That's where it was before.
No,
though.
no, it's
There's
on
a new one.
in some ridiculous. Oh, it's right next to the bridge. So you know how there's that little bridge?
Yep.
It's Wawa, the small bridge, then Dunkin'.
Okay.
So it's like,
So
yeah.
they moved it down a little bit from where it used to be, but honestly, they could have
It's
done
one block.
away with it altogether.
Honestly, the reason I don't like it is because I drive past the
We're
Dunkin'
gonna talk
every
about why
day.
it's controversial, like why people have a problem with it.
I have a problem with it because I drive past it every day, so I've been watching it as it's been getting built up, and
So
automatically I knew it's the same structure. So I feel like the structure had no good drive-through. Like the drive-through was like clustered and slow, and
Mhm.
it backed up into the street. It's gonna do the same thing, but now it's gonna do it next to Wawa.
I want to say what the funnier part of that whole building is that it's a Dunkin' Donuts with 2 stories, which I haven't seen a fast food place with 2 stories since like
In a
McDonald's
long
used to do.
time.
Like
Yeah.
McDonald's used to have the Wendy's, they used to have the 2 stories in the city to go upstairs, and they might have had
But
the
they say
play
you're not gonna be
palace
able to
and
go
stuff.
upstairs, though.
No, you cannot go upstairs, but it gets worse. Not only can you not go upstairs, when you walk inside, they don't take cash. Like it's kiosk only. No one's gonna take your
Oh.
order, and no one's gonna make your food with love. They're gonna see it on a screen. They're never gonna talk to you. So it's all kiosk, no cash, and you can't sit down.
I'm
It gets worse.
disgusted.
It gets worse. There's
I'm
no
disgusted.
bathroom. There's no bathroom.
So what
So
is
how
it
many
like
things?
a stop and go?
2 stories, no cash. You can't sit down, and you can't use the bathroom.
And not only that, so the inside is super inconvenient for foot traffic, but the drive-through is also inconvenient for drive-in traffic.
That would have made sense if y'all had a big, 2
Huge
parking lot worth of space
drive-through.
drive-through and even parking spots, because that's a
Nothing.
limited
There's no-
space area anyway.
It's gonna be have to wait for one car to get out, for you to get out, for you to pull out, for you to pull out.
So those are some of the things that the locals
Oh
have
my
to
god,
say
I
about
didn't
the
know all of that
Dunkin'.
stuff about the inside.
Yep.
That
And
makes it worse.
the funniest thing to me about this Dunkin' and why I said, well, we could just got rid of it altogether, because I feel like the Stroudsburgs, between East and Stroudsburg, have a Dunkin' monopoly. Now I'm gonna break it down for you. There's a Dunkin' at every exit once you get into the Poconos, and some of them have 2. So the first exit when you get over here is Delaware Water Gap. There's one if you get over there by the Clarion Motel.
Mm-hmm.
The next exit is Marshall's Creek 309.
Mm-hmm.
There's one where the Days Inn used to be. The next exit up, so we're going west here. 307.
Exxon.
There's one at the
308.
Oh yeah, Exxon by the ESU, which is another Wawa right there. So it's like, all right, Dunkin', right? And they're putting another Wawa next to the one on 309. Like the St. Luke's strip that they just built. They're putting a Wawa
That's
up
a
there.
Wawa? That's gonna be a Wawa?
But there's already Dunkin'. Apparently it's supposed to be some sort of merger or whatever. Anyway, back to my Dunkin' monopoly.
Wait, 307 has a Dunkin'?
I think it's the same one as 310. It shares the one with 310 is Broad Street. But if you get off Broad Street and go left instead of going right to KFC, you would hit that street again and go back to Dunkin'. But then you go back into town, you get to the one on Main Street, and then you get to the one on 611 by the mall, which is technically still Main Street. They share a highway exit.
Well, I would go even further to say that all of these Dunkin', Monopoly, whatever, and they're all terribly placed. Like for the average person who lives in, because like, what are you putting them there for rest stops? Because for the average person who lives there, they're all terribly placed for your morning commute. They're terribly
And
placed, except
that,
maybe 309 by the days in. That one might be okay, but it gets super packed and the highway's right there.
They're all super tight. They're all packed. They're all inside of another establishment. Let's talk about that. Except for the one at the mall and the one that they just put up. The one at 309 is inside of another building that used to be a deli or something, but it's not solely a Dunkin'. Then the one in the Exxon is in the Exxon, like in the corner of the Exxon,
bro.
In the corner in the back.
I'm paying my coffee, making my.
So it's just interesting that we have that many of them. None of them have a good reputation. I missed
Except
one.
the one by the high
one.
school.
I missed the one by the high school.
And that one's closed down. Is it even? Oh, now it's where Pizza Hut used to be.
They did the same thing they did on Main Street. They moved it next door.
Nonsense.
So who's approving the urban planning around here? That's what I want to know. Who do I need to talk to?
That's the question.
I'm serious. If you know who I need to talk to about the retailers that they're putting in town, I would love to have that conversation.
You know what you missed? The big thing of the whole Dunkin' Donut thing you missed?
What?
They're all owned by one family.
Oh,
that's why there's a monopoly. Why didn't you tell me that when I said that?
Some of them are franchised under different families
They're
because
cousins, babe.
All owned by one family.
They're in-laws, mama.
Yeah.
Now we know who owns the Dunkins and the gas stations, right?
The Taco Bell.
We know who owns those establishments, but I'm sorry, but those are groups of people
Well,
who
I
keep
don't
it in
really
the
care
fam.
that they're owned by one person. Make them better.
They keep it in the family.
Make them better. Oh,
Hey.
there's the one. Inconvenience though. I was gonna say the one up 611 by Weiss.
Well, apparently they're doing well because I was gonna say there's another one up as you go. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure there's two more before you get to the outlets on 611 still, and one of them is in a gas station.
Yep.
So apparently they're doing okay because they're multiplying, and we love to see business grow. But another Dunkin' Donuts,
Dope.
no, thank you.
And then they're just gonna expand on the YMCA with the class. I mean, great for the YMCA, I guess.
The YMCA renovation project has been in the talks for a few years now. Because I went up there during the summer and I asked the lady, like, are they still doing that? And she's like, well, it was almost beat around the bush answers. No, yes, no, no. So it's still in limbo. I would love to see that. Like, listen, if some big investor happens to come across this and likes to vacation out here or something, wants to replenish the community and be philanthropic, we would love a new YMCA with a nice pool, maybe a 24-hour gym.
Well, maybe
something
that's
with
why
a
they took the
sauna.
Dunkin' down. Maybe they're finally
That
doing
is
it.
why. But that project has been talked about for a while. But how much longer until they start rebuilding it?
They tore that Dunkin' down quick, so hopefully it starts soon. I mean, that's nice for
It's
the
still coming on.
community.
The only things they build quick around here are Wawas. Sorry.
Literally. Oh man.
Maybe a hospital.
Maybe. No,
But,
them things take forever. They just open it before it's done. Be like, oh, the West Wing
With
is
certain
blocked off.
construction things around here, they be moving quick. But they pick and choose what's important. But I would love to speak to someone about what we're putting up in the neighborhood. The people have requests.
You probably gotta go to the meetings.
I'm sure I do.
To the town hall meetings. Or something?
I'm definitely gonna do my research.
Yeah, we should.
You'll see me on your board, on your ballot.
You should. So then, how do you feel about the Wingstop? The new Wingstop.
I feel nothing about the Wingstop because I don't eat at the Wingstop. What I could feel about the Wingstop is, would I?
Will you start eating at the Wingstop?
No, because I don't eat there now.
Oh, you don't eat Wingstop, period?
No, yeah.
Oh.
It's not like somewhere that's exciting to me. It's not like, it's like
I'm not a
somewhere I
Wingstop
go,
lady.
so
I had it like twice and it was mid. So
What I will say
No
about
shade.
it being in PA or being in that location is that's a good sign for economic development in a little bit of a way. It wasn't a Wawa because they could have put
if
one.
they could have put a Wawa there, oh my goodness.
Even though we got one at the at the college and we got one on Main Street, they could have put
that's
one
my
right there.
biggest. That's my
But-
biggest tiff with the area. It's just
I'm
like,
glad they didn't do that to
yeah,
us.
I'm glad
So the Wingstop is cool because it's like a more trendy place.
they didn't.
I know
It's bringing
Shaq
jobs.
put his
I know
place
2
at
people that
the-
work there already.
I know Shaq put his chicken spot at the outlets. So like, okay, cute. Not even just cute,
Yeah,
but like,
I know.
all right, people are putting things worth stuff in the Poconos. Like people are investing here
Yeah.
in a different way. So that's cool. Wingstop itself, but the whole concept of it, the economic development, the new retailers,
I like that. It's
that's
cute
cool
over
too.
there now.
the whole little plaza is really nice with the Starbucks is and everything.
Yeah,
They built that up
Starbucks.
nicely.
Yeah.
So not bad, Eastburg. But yeah, if somebody want to know what we want out here, the people got notes. But
What you want out here?
I feel like
Like if you could choose one thing right now, be built next week. What is it?
Waffle House.
Waffle House?
They got one in Bethlehem, but I would love one here. Yeah, 24-hour establishment where I can go get eggs and bacon anytime. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, you know what they say about the Waffle House workers.
We
For the
got
food to be good.
I know a few people who could probably get hired there right now.
I know, but I
Like-
don't know if I'm a. I don't know.
Would they gotta be Southern? Is what you're saying?
No,
Because I know Waffle
ghetto.
House is a Southern thing. That's what I'm saying, girl. Nobody from here is from out here, so I'm sure we could find some people who qualify for the Waffle House criteria.
Waffle House. I mean, I'm not against it.
That was just my
Not
pick. What
against
would be
the
your pick?
I don't know. I didn't think.
I'm just saying
That's what I'm
something. I'm
saying.
sure there's better places, but that's just off the cuff. But I wouldn't be mad about a Waffle House.
Me neither,
There's things they
actually.
put out here that I've been mad about. That I've been like, why did you do that? Did it make sense?
What is
Or like
that?
where they put it didn't make sense. But
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
again,
Well,
maybe
the placement out here is always terrible.
maybe urban planning is my next calling.
Okay.
Like we don't want that there. Put that over here. So yeah, Eastburg is doing this thing. Either way you slice it, there are things happening around here. People are investing in the town, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Waiting up our family and friends on Saturday. So all the people I know that work there coming for my discount. Thanks.
So
What you
before
wanna
we
get to
wrap
next?
up, let's talk about our celebrity or just our pop culture, like some other cool things
Yeah.
that we stumbled upon this past week while we were show planning. So, you know, I don't watch a lot of TV, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see something pop across Netflix and I'm like, oh, okay, let's give it a chance. So I saw the Jerry Springer documentary. It's called Fights Camera Action.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna watch that. One, I love a documentary. Two, it's Jerry. And I only say that in terms of like, it's somebody I'm
It's
vaguely
Jerry.
familiar with. It's somebody that like I've watched, you know, we know it's part of the culture and stuff like that. So I was like, let's see. So of course I had to put you onto it, and
Yeah, I watched it at her house.
it was
good.
interesting.
And I'm not a big documentary person because I got a lot of tips with documentaries, but it was good. It was really good. I was like,
A well done documentary is nice because it reads like a movie. It comes off like, you know, you watching the characters and all of that. But what we know the Jerry Springer show from just pop culture is the controversy. You know, his content was its own thing. It was like a first of its kind type of thing. And it was. They mentioned
Yeah.
that in the documentary.
and no other of a kind, the only of its kind too.
Well, we also kind of talk about modern shows that try to have that same vibe, but it doesn't come off
It's not the same though.
And you know why I don't come off the same? Because Jerry was a white man in a suit with glasses on. But the things that were happening behind him
It
were
was
crazy.
It was crazy.
But somehow it worked because it's Jerry and, you know, his demeanor was
His
not
demeanor
that of...
helped.
Even Steve Wilkos' show might have been a little more controversial because Steve was a little aggressive. You know,
Yeah.
they were in that
I
lane.
remember
But
that.
Jerry was the first to start or to blow up with that type of show. And it was interesting to see how the show got to be made because
Yeah,
it
and
wasn't
most
what you
of it
think.
wasn't even Jerry's doing.
it wasn't what you think.
Yeah, it was so.
Don't believe
interesting.
nothing you see on TV.
I mean,
Or
It
just
was
everything
real,
is not what it
though.
appears, basically.
yeah, because the it was real. I was surprised to find out in the documentary that all of It was all real.
All the
Every
shows,
single one
every
of them
person they had on there, none of that was made up stuff.
none of it was made up.
Wasn't fake news.
Because it was after a while. I remember when, and they talked about that in the documentary, how like people started saying that, oh, Jerry was faking it and he was making stuff up
Right.
and yada yada. But like, no, these people,
Because it was
were
so
really
bad
coming up.
that it got to the point that's like, there's no way this can be real.
Yeah.
Some of them were like that, but Jerry Springer was a puppet master. He was the face of something kind of sinister in the background. Like some of the stuff that was going on. Was
I don't
kinda-
know. I
It
have
wasn't
a
great
differing
stuff,
opinion
like-
of it, though.
I feel like to make a show like that, you can't be doing good, honest work in the background 100%.
I don't think it was sinister though. I mean,
Okay.
in the documentary they say it like that too. Like, oh, like it was like, but I mean, it was exploitation. But I feel like the people were exploiting themselves too.
Everyone had a part in the situation.
Yeah,
I don't think
know what
anybody
mean?
was innocent.
Because I feel like, and then Jerry had least of the part. So I feel like we have to differentiate that because remember, it was the producer that was really doing the exploiting. Jerry was hands off most of it.
Yes.
Remember, they were like trading them in the background. and stuff
Yeah, it's like
that.
the
So-
questions to be posed are, who's at fault? Is there even fault? Like, is there someone to blame for anything? But when you see how the sausage gets made, it does kind of change your perspective on what you see on your screen at the end of the day. Which like you see what's going on in the background, and you know it's like not always pretty. But are you gonna become vegetarian? We still watch Jerry, but that's before we knew, you know, I guess really what was happening. But it was, I don't know. I feel like we what it was is what we saw.
I feel like you could expect that from watching the show though. Like I don't think the documentary like shined a light on anything that
You couldn't have put together
you couldn't have put
just
together
based on
in
the
your
content,
head.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's why I feel like it didn't really change. I mean, it's Jerry. It's not like they airing new Jerry, so I'm gonna still watch the reruns.
But when you
I'm
say like
pretty sure
it's
everyone
Jerry,
does.
what does that mean? Like it's almost like we giving him a pass. Like it's Jerry.
I mean,
what does
it
that mean,
hasn't
though?
been on air. Like it hasn't been new episodes. It's done. Jerry's done. It's Jerry. It's already a thing of the
Unfortunately,
past.
Jerry's
technically.
literally done. He passed away.
Yeah.
a couple years ago. So
Yeah, he's a
Dead
thing of the
state.
past.
he who?
Dead and stinking.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
did you see that
he
little
felt
fake
bad
controversy?
though. Oh yeah. So let's talk about a part of the Jerry Springer show. Because there was a couple of scandals behind the show, but the controversy with him going to Jamaica.
No,
Oh,
but
what one?
it was like it has nothing to do with the documentary.
Oh.
After he died, they had came out with this thing like Jerry had like a paternity thing with his kid, but I think it was fake. It was fake, but it was like Jerry's last hurrah.
What do you mean a
I have
paternity?
to-
What do you mean a paternity thing with his kid? Like he was trying to figure out
It
if
was like this whole thing with his.
he had like a secret love child or something.
I don't know, but it was satire. But Jerry did it. Like he did it. Like it was his dying thing. I have to find it. It was like a whole big thing on social media. How Jerry
I
put out
vaguely
this thing.
remember, but I don't remember exactly what the terms of it was. Like I remember something coming up after he died, but I don't remember.
Yeah, and
Like
like how
what?
he wasn't his kid, but it was all like thing. But he put in his will, I guess, to like trick his fans. I guess I don't know, but it came out, and that was like his dying thing, to like give us one last hoorah. So that's what that whole controversy was about. I just thought it was
Mhm.
hilarious. After I
Mhm.
found out that it was a controversy. So yeah,
Yeah. Either way,
it wasn't
he
real.
had an interesting life. He was an interesting person. I mean, the documentary does give you insight into like his mindset or his background or like what he was aspiring to be. He wasn't trying to be a raunchy TV show host. He was trying to be a councilman.
politician.
Like he was hosting, you know,
He
network
was a councilman.
cable. He was a councilman. Yeah,
He was
so
a councilman.
It's crazy that transition, but
He
again,
was probably so happy when he did Judge Jerry.
I don't even remember Judge Jerry.
It was like his
I remember
tail
being a
end
spin-off
right before he
thing.
died.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But
he did Judge Jerry.
he was
He was
Jerry
probably
Springer in
living out
real
his
life, and
little
he was Jerry Springer, the
dream.
talk show host on his show. But y'all should watch it.
It was
Jerry
really
Springer.
good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was entertaining.
I just feel like it's just knowledge. If you've ever watched his show, you would find interest in the documentary.
I
And
liked
see
it.
what really was going on back there. So
Yeah, and
Very
some people
interesting.
talked about it now. Like the people who were on the show came back to talk in the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because some bad things happen behind the show, not at fault of anyone, just cause and effect. Like
Yeah,
when you put things on TV and put people's business out there is likely to be some sort of repercussion. So take a look into the Jerry Springer documentary, Fights Camera Action on Netflix, and then come back here next week on Genesis Radio for another episode of In My Opinion with me, Amazing Amy, and
Victoria Paris.
yes. So have a great rest of the week. It's only Tuesday, but push through. Friday is right there. Have a great weekend, and then we'll see you back here next week. Later.
So maybe it's a wrap.
Yeah. Or you need something that side.
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to pick your brain apart. Trying to make you working hard. It was like this from the start. I'm just trying to be the new spark. Try to show you light cause you went through dark. Made you work talking like you playing dark. I like your stripes, but you don't like your stars. Baby girl, it's alright. With me, we gon' shoot for the stars. We only human and we are who we are. Let me go into let's finish guitar. Shorty got that water like she could talk.
Oh my God, I just finished. How was that?
I'll see you tomorrow. Feels like the first time we're